What's up, Walkers? I'm Steven from the Hills Maniacs, and if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you know that there's been a lot of spin-offs they've had recently. Of course, there was the original series of The Walking Dead, and then after 11 seasons, they ended that. At one point in time, there was the Fear the Walking Dead spin-off, which I guess was technically a prequel to it. And then there was The Walking Dead World Beyond. And then, of course, lately they've been having these other spin-offs as well, featuring some of the characters from the main show. So you had Maggie and Negan on The Walking Dead Dead City. Then you had the Daryl Dixon series, which of course had 2 seasons, and even featured Carol in the second season. And then also The Ones Who Live, which was about Rick and Michonne. So today I'm going to kind of be talking about all of those spin-offs and where I think the direction of the Walking Dead franchise is heading next, and where I think it should go, and what they should do next with it. So here's what I think should happen with the Walking Dead franchise going forward. But when it comes to all these spin-offs, I kind of like what they're doing with them. I think the reason they're doing these and not just continuing with the main show is because they had a huge cast of characters on the show, and they kind of wanted to. They probably didn't have enough money to pay all the actors at once, so they just decided to kind of end the main series. And then they're having all these spin-offs that feature some of these characters occasionally popping up. We haven't really seen much of the characters from Alexandria. We've had mentions of them and that sort of thing. The other characters from the main show, but they took the main 6 or so main characters and gave them all their own spin-offs where they're together essentially. I feel like this is building to some kind of event where all of them are going to reunite, maybe to fully culminate the end of the Walking Dead franchise as a whole. And the way I think they should do that is through a movie, or a movie trilogy, or whatever they wanted to do. I think I'd personally like to see The Walking Dead on the big screen. I feel like a lot of people would really go see that, because I think it is a big enough franchise where it would draw people to the theaters to see at least 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 movies to fully finish off the series. And if they were to do that, it'd be similar to what Disney's doing with Star Wars. They have those Disney Plus shows like The Mandalorian and things of that nature that are going to be coming together into a movie to tie them all together and finish off those individual series within the Star Wars universe. And I think that would kind of be the same thing here. I feel like what maybe the premise of the movie could be is someone finally discovers the cure for this disease, but they're keeping it to themselves or using it to control other people or something, where he only gives it to, or this villain only gives it to their followers or something, and that's it. And then Rick and them have to go and take this guy down so they can get the cure to everybody, or for everybody, or something along those lines. Or maybe there's just, they finally officially kill off all the remaining walkers and cure themselves, or something along those lines. But I think having either a single movie to tie it all together or a movie trilogy would be the perfect ending to the Walking Dead series. And I feel like it would feel like it's on a grander scale if they did it in theaters versus just continuing with these spin-off shows and having new seasons of these spin-off shows, because then it would feel almost like an Avengers movie. You're bringing all this main cast of characters back to each other. It's the first time they're meeting each other in years, especially with Rick Grimes, where they all assumed he was dead for a long time. To have him return to the show and meet the main cast of characters, especially Daryl, who was a really good friend of his in the show, to see them reunite on the big screen, I feel like would be worth them making it into a movie. And I feel like they could do enough where they have a mix of everything to draw out the movie or movies enough where it won't feel boring or anything. Because in the main series and stuff, they had to drag out several episodes of one thing happening or something, whereas in the movie, I feel like with the condensed time frame, they'd have probably 2 or 3 hours maximum for a movie. They'd have to make everything happen right away. I don't think you'd really get bored with it. They can add in the tense moments with all the zombie, or with all the walkers, or whatever you want to call them, zombies, whatever, giving enough tension to the characters where you could make a good movie out of it, and especially if you introduce some kind of new villain or something, or even a villain that connects them all, like the CRM, for example, from The Ones Who Live, or maybe the group of people that's trying to get Negan to lead them in Dead City, or whatever. You have some kind of faction or group that is once again targeting Rick and the main cast of characters, and that's what brings them together to join forces one last time to take down this group and finally live in peace. Or, like I said, if someone discovers a cure for keeping everyone from turning when they die. And then, throughout the movie too, you can have some of the side characters, interact with the main cast. You could get Morgan back, or any of the characters from Alexandria, or from the original series, or even some of the characters from Fear the Walking Dead that have never interacted with Rick Grimes and all those characters from the original show. All of them could come together as well, and it'd be this huge group, on the screen together one last time for one epic climactic battle with somebody, or with the undead, or whatever, just to save the world one last time. I think it would feel on the scale of a superhero movie or that sort of thing. And I think because all these guys are really good at playing these characters on these shows and the spin-offs and everything else, I think would make for a really fun movie within the Walking Dead universe. But let me know what you guys think. Where do you think the Walking Dead franchise should be taken next? Should there be more spin-offs with some of the other characters that we haven't gotten to see in a long time since the original series ended? Or do you want to see it in a movie like I mentioned? Let me know all that down in the comments section. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more, and check out all the other Walking Dead content that we've put up on this channel as well. Earlier this year I did a video on my top 5 favorite moments from The Ones Who Live, and of course I did another video a while ago where I talked about why you should watch The Walking Dead if you're not a fan. And I even compared the Daryl Dixon series with the Dead City series, so go check out all of those videos related to The Walking Dead. Thank you for watching the video, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.